and the next day, and the next... What's that? Next episode already? What are you talking about? How long was I saying and the next day? A week? No wonder I'm so hoarse. Give me 1 second.
There we go, that's better. Alright, so what game are we playing this week? Ooh, Mario Tennis Aces? Yes! I've been waiting so long for this game. I am so excited to finally play a good Mario Tennis game again. Huh, you know, it's weird. We don't normally start these episodes with me talking about my expectations for a game. If I didn't know any better, I'd almost say that we were setting me up for disappointment. Bummer. Hello and welcome to the Beardicus Show. My name is Beardicus, and today we're going to talk about why Mario Tennis Aces was a huge letdown. Before I begin, I just want to make sure everyone is aware of the biggest change from previous games. Rackets now have durability. If an opponent uses a power shot, now called zone shots, and you don't deflect the shot with perfect timing, your racket will take damage. Too much damage and it will break. If your opponent has full energy, they can also use a special shot, which is basically the same as a zone shot, just a bit flashier, and if you don't time your hit perfectly, your racket will break no matter how much durability it has left. If you run out of rackets, you'll lose immediately regardless of points. Now, I do like this addition because it provides opportunities for huge come-from-behind victories. Here, check this out. It's match point for Boom Boom, right? Well, tough luck, buddy. You're out of rackets. Looks like I win by default. Okay, now we can get started. And I want to start by talking about the side games. A bit unusual, I know, but it's going to tie into something I talk about later, so I want to get it out of the way now. Now, if you've ever played a Mario Tennis game that isn't Ultra Smash, you're probably familiar with some of the recurring side games, like Ring Shot, or that one mode where you get the items. I'm not sure if that's its actual name, but... oh no, there it is, that is the actual name. And I'm pleased to say that both of these modes are back. I'm pleased to say it, even though it's not true. Neither of these modes are back. In fact, the closest thing that this game has to a side mode of any kind is Swing Mode, where you play a normal game of tennis with everybody's favorite, motion controls. I will admit that this mode was surprisingly fun, if only for a couple of rounds, but that is largely due to the fact that I'm incredibly out of shape, and any amount of sustained movement leaves me kinda sore. And there is a secondary swing mode. The Mega Ball returns, and this time you can play a normal match with it if you want. And I just have to ask, why? Why is this still a thing? Is this honestly the most creative you can get? Oh, we need a new mode for Mario Tennis. Let's just make the ball bigger. Not like, I don't know, Fireball mode, where the ball constantly acts like it's being zone shot, so you need to time all of your hits perfectly, or else your rocket will keep taking damage, and it turns more into a battle of attrition instead of a battle of, well, tennis. Whoa, look at that! Did you see how easy it is to come up with a new mode for Mario Tennis? Hey, Camelot, maybe you should try it sometime. Okay, that got way more negative than I meant for it to be. You'll have to excuse me. Sarcasm is just like a knee-jerk reaction for me. I don't even know I'm doing it half of the time. So, let's move on to the next point I want to talk about. Let's go on to story mode. Wario and Waluigi show up, looking like mummies. Then Luigi gets possessed, and it's up to Mario to set off on an adventure. But here's the weird thing. Mario's not the main character. Toad is. Because Mario's a silent protagonist, so Toad has to do all the talking for him. So it feels more like he's the one on the adventure, and Mario's just his silent tennis lackey. And on a related note, every other character is very sloppily handled in this mode too. Aside from Donkey Kong near the beginning, every time you have a match against a character, it's just a generic enemy. Dry Bones, Koopa Troopa, Shy Guy, Blooper, Boom Boom. And this is at the cost of actual characters getting less screen time. Peach and Daisy show up at the beginning and the ending and do nothing in between. The same thing happens to Wario and Waluigi and especially Luigi, despite those three supposedly being major threats. And fan favorites Yoshi and Rosalina don't even show up. You want a simple solution to this problem? Fine. What if, while we're off on this adventure, the Infinity Racket is off possessing other characters? So instead of us running into all these generic enemies that have nothing to do with the plot, but they keep stopping us just because, maybe we're running into the other possessed characters like Yoshi and Rosalina, who stop us because they're working for the Infinity Racket, actively trying to stop our progress. And there you go. An easy solution to a simple problem that shouldn't have been a problem in the first place. You get more characters, and the characters are connected to the plot. Alright, I think I'm getting a bit ahead of myself. Let's head back to the beginning of this mode. After Luigi gets possessed and Mario sets off, the adventure begins. Except that it doesn't. The first thing you do is go through a tutorial. Like a serious, long, and boring tutorial. And yes, it's mandatory. Despite the fact that Mario Tennis games have been around for almost 20 years, and the basics of the game haven't changed at all in that time, and never mind the fact that this particular Mario Tennis game had a demo just a couple of weeks ago that also had a forced tutorial. No, you still need to force us to go through this tutorial, even though this game has a how to play menu. This is ridiculous. If I need to know how to play, I will go to the how to play menu. That's what it's for. Forced tutorials always get under my skin. I just hate it so much. You can give us the how to play menu. That's a great option. But if you're going to do that, especially if you're going to do that, do not force us to do a tutorial. That's stupid. Anyway, you beat the tutorial, and your reward is to learn the entire plot. It turns out the Infinity Racket's name is actually Lucian, and it possesses people. There are 5 sacred stones that you have to keep out of Luigi's grasp, and should he get all of the stones, he'll be able to destroy half of the universe with a snap of his fingers. I'm thinking of someone else again, aren't I? The thing is, they don't really say what would happen if Lucian gets the power stones. Just that he and his wielder, in this case Luigi I guess, would be unstoppable. So your quest is to find the 5 stones before Luigi does. Now, you might think that there's some sort of puzzle you have to solve to find the stones, but nope. They're just over there, there, and there. And that's the story. Everything from this point on is basically just, hey, you can't pass here unless you beat me at tennis. Okay, you win, you can go. Hey, you can't pass here unless you beat me at tennis. Okay, you win, you can go. Hey, you can't, you get the point. And, like, I get it. You know, you think, oh, it's a tennis game, nobody's playing for the plot. But here's the thing. Yes, they probably are. Because like I said before, there are no sub-games in this game, which means any mini-games in adventure mode are severely underdeveloped, and they're basically just more tennis with slightly altered rules. Like, oh, just keep hitting the ball back and forth. Oh, now you're aiming at walls. Oh, now you can't let your opponent hit any of the balls that you hit. It's not interesting. And so every mission in adventure mode is just tennis after tennis after tennis. Adventure mode should be called just more tennis I'm not playing this mode for the tennis. If I were playing for the tennis, I could play literally any other mode in this game. You need a plot to set this mode apart. Oh, a plot in a tennis game, that's just ridiculous, right? That's what you're thinking, isn't it? But here's the thing. Yes, you're right. That's the point. You have to steer into the ridiculousness of the situation. You have to make this a ridiculous plot. Okay, this should be a comedy game. Why is the plot taking itself even remotely seriously? Why is everybody serious? Why is nobody cracking jokes? Why are you not even self-aware of the fact that everybody just wants to play tennis for some reason? This is the worst possible way that you could have handled this plot. You have to either make it interesting or funny. And it is hard to make an interesting plot about tennis, I admit. So you should have made it funny. If Lucian gets all the orbs, what happens? Oh, he'll become unbeatable at tennis. He'll win every championship and nobody will ever have fun playing the sport again. Oh, the horror! Everybody should treat a ridiculous plot like that like it's the end of the world. That's how you do it. It's a ridiculous plot that everyone takes seriously. That juxtaposition will create comedy. Or it's the end of the world, but nobody's taking it seriously because everybody's just playing tennis. It's a serious story that's handled in a ridiculous way. That juxtaposition will create comedy. That's how you should have handled the story. But instead, it's just, oh, it'll be the end of the world, and everybody takes it seriously, and it's boring because it's not handled well in the slightest. I will end this rant by saying that the only incentive you have for playing adventure mode is to unlock all of the courts aside from the generic stadium courts. But that means that once you've unlocked the final court, there's no reason to play anymore. Admittedly, there are only a few missions left at that point, but you get nothing for finishing them. Okay, that is more than enough negativity about adventure mode. Let's focus on some of the positives, like the bosses. Some of the bosses were fun. I mean, I didn't like fighting IROC, and the mirror wasn't a character, but Petey Piranha and Gooper Blooper were okay, and I liked fighting the Bowser statue. No, spoilers. Sorry. You know what? No, I'm not sorry. Because if I spoil this mode for you, it'll just mean you don't have to play it yourself. So I'm just saving you 4 hours of your time because this mode is just a huge waste of... I'm getting pretty negative again, aren't I? Okay, stay positive. Stay positive. Well, there's the costumes. Yes, costumes. So at the beginning of the game, when Luigi and the others get possessed, they get these new bandaged mummy-like outfits that you can unlock and wear in multiplayer mode. And to unlock them, you have to use your imagination, because you can't actually unlock any alternate outfits in this game aside from Mario's overalls, which you unlock by going back in time and playing the demo. Boy, that attempt at positivity really backfired, didn't it? Maybe I should move on to a new mode. Tournaments are back, and you can play online if you're so inclined. Or you can play offline tournaments against the CPU too. Tournaments work similarly to how they did in previous Mario Tennis games, where you fight your way through a knockout tournament. And the tournaments are split into 3 difficulties: the Mushroom, the Flower, and the Star Cup. And while I don't like the fact that you can't customize the rules of offline tournaments at all, like you can't even play a simple tournament without zone shots and all that, I'm just glad that there is a mode worth playing when you're playing by yourself offline. Because if you can beat all 3 tournaments, you will unlock... You've got to be kidding me. You don't get anything? You don't even get those fun little cutscenes from the N64 or GameCube games? Then what's then why would I bother? Like, you don't even unlock star characters in this game? Star characters were in Ultra Smash. How did you take something out of Ultra Smash? There was nothing in Ultra Smash. Stay positive. Stay positive. Let's just have fun. Let's just play a fun little game of tennis, okay? Let's not worry about the story mode. Let's not worry about unlocking things. Let's just have a fun game of tennis. Okay, I'm bringing my main man Luigi, and we'll just have some nice, simple fun. And we can even check out some of the courts that I unlocked. Well, wait, what's going on? I didn't pick a court yet, did I? Was I not paying attention? You know what? It doesn't matter. Okay, let's just sit back and enjoy this nice, friendly game of tennis. Whoa, wait, why do I have 1 point? That's not how scoring works in tennis. Unless... Wait, is this a tiebreaker game? Why, whoa. What is going on? Okay, I see what's going on. As it turns out, this game doesn't want you to have to go through all of the menus every time you play, so the settings are preset, and then you just have to go out of your way once to set them, and then I'm sure it'll save it for every other time you play after this. Yeah, no, it reverts to the defaults every time you open this mode. This game actually wants you to be as inconvenienced as possible, but you know what? I'm staying positive, and this isn't even that big a deal. The default settings may be absolute garbage, but if you enjoy playing garbage matches of tennis, then this is perfect for you. And I'm not even being that sarcastic, only like 20% sarcastic, 40% max, 82%, and that's my final offer. 90% sarcasm, but no more. 98% sarcasm aside, this really isn't that big a deal. We just have to change the options. First up, match type, singles or doubles. Simple enough, we're going to stick with singles. Playstyle has 3 options: standard, simple, and simple beginner. I'm not sure what the difference is between simple and simple beginner. Maybe it's because I'm so good that both modes may as well be simple beginner. Haha. Or maybe it's because I only played 1 match of simple beginner. I don't, it could be anything really. Court selection is where things get really weird though. The court is either completely random, a random version of Marina Stadium, or custom random. Custom random meaning that it's picked randomly from a list that you can customize. Interesting to note that there's no select court option where you can select a court, but it's okay, because if you set it to custom random and then just turn off every court except for the one that you want to play, then that means that the court will be chosen randomly out of the 1 option. So technically, you can still pick whatever court you want. It's just a little inconvenient. But that's not a bad thing because it technically works. I am staying positive. Okay, playtime is the important one. It's set to quick play by default, which is just 1 tiebreaker game. So let's set it to extended. This setting defaults to 1 set of 2 games, but you can change that by hitting, by hitting... Hang on, where does it... How do I edit this? Wait, can I not make this any longer? Extended play is limited to 1 set of 2 games? How is this extended? This is literally the shortest that you could have played a match in any other Mario Tennis game. And here it's extended? And there are no options to make it any longer? Why? Why would you do this? Adventure Mode and Tournament Mode both have plenty of matches that are 3 or even 5 sets. Why can't I just do that here? I mean, every other Ultra Smash had, and 20 years ago, stay positive. Stay positive. Stay positive. I can't. There's nothing positive here. I didn't expect much from Adventure Mode, okay? So I wasn't surprised when it turned out to be tedious. And you know what? I knew going in that Tournament Mode was going to be meant more for online, so offline tournaments weren't going to have much to offer. And sure, I was disappointed when I found out that all of the characters were unlocked from the start, and that you couldn't unlock any alternate outfits or anything like that. But you know what? I could get over all of that. But you ruined Exhibition Mode? How do you even do that? I loved Mario Tennis. I loved the old ones on the N64 and the GameCube and all of those. Ultra Smash was a huge disappointment, but I knew what I was getting into. I had seen the reviews. But this hurt. I'm not even in the mood to make jokes about it. I just want to like Mario Tennis again.